Hey, how you doing? This video is going to be made partially out of anger and partially due to the fact that I'm in between two huge projects and I don't have a video to release for a little while, so I thought this would be a quick one to pound out. I bought this vacuum quite a while ago, probably 4 years ago, and the battery it lasted forever. But like all things, it died, so time for a new battery. Well, I go to Dyson's website and they want like 160 some odd Canadian pesos for a new battery. I'm thinking, okay, fair enough. It did last a long time. Let's go see what Amazon has. Well, Amazon has a ton of these batteries and they range in from price from like 50 bucks up to 150. I don't know. So thinking, okay. So I'm looking through the ads. I come across this particular battery. It's 500 more milliamp hours than the original battery. It's got a good ad. It's only 60 bucks. I'm thinking, all right, sold. So I buy it, I install it. 2 months. It lasted 2 months. After the first month, it was down to about 5 minutes worth of vacuuming. I used this thing last week and it vacuumed for about a minute and a half. And now it won't even hold a charge. I just pulled it off the charger. It's completely dead. So I was sitting in here last night and started to thinking, it'd be kind of neat if I could put one of these batteries on my Dyson vacuum, because these are 18 volts. The Dyson is 21. I'm thinking, that's a neat idea. So I start looking it up. Apparently it's a thing. I didn't even know. Guys are putting their Dyson vacuums on the M18 batteries, and apparently it works pretty good. So, without further ado, let's give it a go. It should be interesting at the very least. Normally I get these battery mounts off of eBay, but it takes a month and a half to 2 months to get them from China. So this one I got off of Amazon, and the quality's pretty good. I'm pretty happy. I wanted one with a switch because I have a feeling I need a switch, because the switch itself is inside the battery pack on this. So I'm going to have to figure out how to mount a switch. Okay, let's see how we do here. There's also one on the back here. There we go. No, I didn't show it, but there's a little screw on the upright part of that thing. Once that little screw comes out, this thing just falls apart. Now, I wouldn't have a clue what to do with that PC board in this build, so I'm just going to tear it out of there. But I am going to harvest a few parts out of it. The little electrical contactors, I'm going to use those. There we go. Okay, the battery in the overhead camera died, so I'll have to explain, because my hand is in the way here. What I'm doing is I'm using the soldering iron to burn little grooves into that battery mount for the electrical contacts. They had these little tabs that stuck out into the PCB board, and I thought I'll just make the grooves in the battery mount and use that PL 400 glue and some hot glue and mount them in there. Yeah, that's good. So before I made everything permanent here, I drilled some holes in those little electrical contactors and soldered the wire on before I glued them in. As far as the wiring goes here, when the vacuum is upside down facing away from you like it is in this shot, the positive terminal in the handle is on the left hand side. So when this is all assembled and I'm vacuuming, my switch actually ended up on the right hand side because it's in line with the positive wires. If I'd put some thought into it, I would have put the switch on the left hand side because it would have been a lot more convenient for me to turn on and off. So where I'm at here is I got the ground soldered together and I'm just about to fit these wires down the side, and I'm going to use hot glue to hold them down the sides. I think I am. We'll see. I might not have to. Kind of the plan, sort of like that. Here, and the wires go straight through to the open area, and boom, just clicks together. And then the switch will be on the side here like that. 2 inches. All right, let's see how that's going to work. Yeah, that'll be fine. A couple little screws on the side, a couple on top. Okay, so the same with this. This whole bottom has to come out. See where we're at here. This looks pretty darn good. See if the battery fits in there. Almost can't get it out. Okay, so that holds itself in there pretty good. Let's maybe work on the switch now. Hey, I.B.Lancer here. I thought I should explain why I'm not using the switch in the handle of the vacuum itself. And the reason being is that it's a micro switch, and it's only meant to send an electronic signal to the PC board to tell the PC board to send power from the battery to the motor. If I was to hook this battery up to that switch, if it even worked, it would cook in under a minute. It's just not meant to handle that kind of amperage. So I have to use an external switch to handle the big power. Alright, back to the video. Okay, and the switch is in. That was just a real simple soldering job. I put a couple of drywall here. I have these little tiny drywall screws that I put in. And the battery holder is a little bit thinner than the inside of the battery, the outside compartment. So I used some extra plastic just to help shim it out. You can kind of see how I did that there. And then I put a couple of screws in the side. And I never did show you the little tongs. I kind of went crazy with the glue. It's not going anywhere. There's no wear and tear on this. I mean, once it's together and fitted inside the handle, it never moves. So I don't know if there's anything else I can show you. Maybe I'll just put it together. All right, not bad. Can't forget this little screw here. So now you can completely see how that works, because before they came down right over top of the little tabs, I could barely open it. So now with those cut off, yeah, it works great. All right, seems pretty strong. I like it. So now I'll put it together. Can't forget the one on the back. That's pretty awesome. All right, let's try a battery here. Wow, I'm really impressed that it works on high. This was way too easy. I mean, and if I ever really want to buy another battery, a proper battery, this will just slide right out. But for now, I think I'll go vacuum and see how it works. See how long it lasts. I'll get back to you.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Okay. That was awesome. I have never been so excited to vacuum in my life. I vacuumed from top to bottom in my house for 30 minutes, and I still had 1 bar left on a 5.0 battery. That's amazing. I mean, and even if the battery does happen to die, pull the battery, slap another one in, and away you go. With a factory battery, quite often it would die before I was finished, and I basically had to wait till the next day to do any more vacuuming because the charging was so slow. So I'm really happy with this. And it worked on high too. It didn't even work on high when I had the factory battery. It would go for maybe 15 seconds and then it would just shut right down. So I was upstairs with a crevice tool, and I at one point I was probably going for a minute and a half on high, and just kept going. So yeah, that's a bonus right there. So that's it. I'm out of here. Thanks for coming by, and if you felt this was helpful, give me a big old thumbs up, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.